connection's unstable. It's
I
probably
don't know.
Kalila keeps
Okay.
freezing for me.
She's the one that always freezes. I think she's frozen now.
She's gonna get kicked off.
Okay, so we wanted to do, like, we kind of
She
divided it up.
freezes in really good.
She does freeze. She freezes in flattering manners. I do not.
Nor do I.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. We kind of divided up what we wanted to do into two different segments. So this time we're talking mostly about, like, we're talking mostly with moms on the team, because we have so many moms on the team, and life is ridiculous right now because all the kids are home and, like, schedules are crazy for all of us, even if we don't have kids. So we are going to ask 3 different people to be interviewed. So first we're going to talk to Susanna. And
I got a way smaller.
how long have you been? I'm trying to remember now. How long have you been with the business?
I started in February.
February, okay. And so she's actually, her upline is her daughter, which is cool. So Clarissa's your oldest, but can you tell everybody how, I don't know if everybody knows how many kids you have and, like, what your life is like.
Well, all my kids, I have 8. And my oldest is Clarissa. She is 21, I think. I don't remember that. I always forget their ages. And then I have a 6-month-old baby. So,
And
you know,
what's,
from elementary to junior high to high school to college.
so
To get an
busy,
idea of the ages that I have.
super,
Yeah.
super busy.
Yes.
And then what is your secular work like?
Right now for all this COVID-19 that's going on, I'm still going to work from 8 to 5 because I'm in the transportation company. So we hire truck drivers. So we're still doing some, we're in Texas. So right now the only restriction we have is that we are only hiring from Texas, but we're still going to work. We're still making our calls. We're still processing applications. So I'm still going to work full time.
Wow.
Right.
So 7 kids at home and working full time.
Yes.
Plus, I mean, you are very active with the business. So can you tell everybody how you kind of juggle all of that?
So when I first started, I must tell you, I was getting frustrated and I was getting overwhelmed and I was getting like anxious. Like I would get anxiety attacks because I was like, oh my God, I need to post this, I need to do this, I need to text, But then as time went by, I started managing, saying, you know what, just relax because you don't have to do it, I started listening to videos when on my way to work. I would, put my headphones and just push play and listen to the video so I can start learning. I did some of the day 1, day 2, day 3 new distributors videos, so that got me going on some things. I still do it. I still listen to videos. If I don't have the time, if I'm scrolling, because you always have your phone in your hand. I have the access at work where I can have my phone in my hand. So what I do is, if I see a video and at that moment I cannot watch it, then I'll save it on my Facebook on my video so to watch it another time. So now I'll go back whenever I'm driving back from work or to work. My lunchtime, during my lunchtime I usually try to do either my slides, post and check what I have. And it's not always going to be that you're going to have a bunch of slides or you can make videos. There's going to be times or days when I don't have time for that. And I go down to 4 slides on my Instagram. It's like, oh, I need to post something. So I try to do it at night or, and I know it's going to be there all the next day. So.
Right. That's smart. So I love that you're taking advantage of driving time to be listening to things, and that's like your alone time. And then being aware of your slides and all of that, that's so smart. And you're pouring into yourself so that when you're giving out, you're not,
and
not like you're like empty,
I'm not stressed out anymore. So, because I am,
that's awesome.
I'm managing my time, like saying, okay, it's time for this.
And you still, like, you send me screenshots and all of that. So I love that. Like, you utilize us. You're in the team chats, a part of the team. I love that you're, like, always, like, present, even with all of the craziness going on.
One thing that I would recommend a lot, because it helped me, don't try, because you invite me to the Facebook chats, and then we have the Instagram chat, the group chat. So to me, the way it works is like I'm more on the team chat because with
Mhm.
questions and answers, suggestions, and I go back to my Facebook chats. At the beginning, I had the notifications on. I had to turn them off. But I
Mhm.
was like, I cannot do it. It's too much. So you will find what works for you. You know, if you're
Right.
gonna be more involved in one of the chats, then another chat is fine. If you're part of it, that's fine. And all the information is useful. You just need to find a way of trying to get the information to you, you know, your way,
I like
not
that.
everything at once.
Focusing on what you're finding is important at the time, and you can go back if something is muted and overwhelming you. I will generally look at it like once or twice a day, the one that I'm not in as much.
Mhm.
And make sure you don't miss anything. I like that. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed because you want to focus on the important things. Thank you very, very much. That was awesome. We're gonna move on to Sharon. Uh, there we go. You're unmuted. So Sharon, I think Kalila is going to ask her questions and whatnot. If she's, oh, there you go.
Am I here? I
We're
switched.
there.
I switched internet. Hopefully, I stay here. So, beautiful Sharon, you have busy boys, and you're, of course, a mom. So, that itself tells us how busy you are with everything you have to take care of. What do you find works best for you in managing all of the things that you have to take care of?
Well, I think being organized is a big key because when I first started, I'm the kind of person that once I decide to do something, I go all in and I dig and I do it, and in the beginning, when I first started this, I was watching everything, posting everything, and I have to admit, I wasn't very balanced. And so I was spending more time trying to learn the business and doing things instead of investing time and still handling my wifely duties. Like there were days where I was on it so long and I didn't get my meals cooked or the laundry was not done. And so it can be a source of contention in your house if you don't handle it properly. So I had to back up a bit and try to figure out how to manage it. In addition to my already busy life with my boys, I have two boys. One is 8 now and 5. My oldest has special needs. He's on the autism spectrum and he has ADHD. So he's a little bit more active than most kids. And then there are good days and bad days. So I have to adjust around that. And when they were in school, it was a lot easier because my youngest was in pre-K half a day. So the mornings were like my time. I could use that efficiently to work my business. And then once he got home, I devoted time to spend with him, to do whatever, like reading, whatever. And then I could work bits and pieces, 30 minutes. But then once my oldest son got home at 3, I tried to devote the time from 3 till about after dinner time for family. I had to learn at that time had to be strictly for them. I didn't want them getting to where they felt like I was home but not home, because I was just spending so much time, because they would see me, doing work, and I would be sitting them out, I've got to do this or that or whatever. And so it got to the point where they were even mimicking me on Zooms because that's what they saw me doing all the time. So there's a balancing. And so I, put on my planner, I organize everything, and I just write, throughout my day, what time I'm going to do this, when I'm going to do that. And now with them being home out of school, it's even more hectic because now we're taking on not just the mom role, but the teacher role as well. So I've had to go back and readjust my schedule now that they're here to be able to find time to do it and devote time to helping them learn. So we are on a routine. consistency and routine is best for us. Like my son works better on a routine. So we get him up every morning like he was going to school. We feed him breakfast and then it's to the table for both of them. I have one on one side, one on the other, and I'm in the middle. So while they're doing their thing, I'm working. We all have our little computers up and just got to make it work. And then we take our breaks and do fun things or whatever. You just have to work that in so it doesn't become overwhelming.
I love how you said that you're just aware of being, when you're with them, being present. Because
Right.
I think that is very important, of course. But we have the opportunity to be home working with our kids, which is amazing, having that available to us. Of course, it is more of an adjustment now. I'm finding myself readjusting with finding a new routine and playing the teacher role too. Same as you, I would have kind of that free time in the morning to work while Evelyn was in preschool and then devote special time to work, but we're readjusting and that's working. So when you have that special time set aside for your work, what does that usually look like? Even if it's not too long, you said maybe 30 minutes. What does that usually look like when you're doing those chunks of work?
Well, definitely trying to do my 6 steps, which is keeping my stories full, messaging, like really taking advantage of building my network and messaging, because that's what's going to bring me the most. And then when I do that in the morning, then those 30 minutes where I can come back and follow up with people and try to reconnect with maybe people who have messaged me while I was doing something, and just post and communicate with people as much as I can.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Even if we have like 10 minutes or like 30 minutes, I love how you said focusing on messaging and following up. Those are so important, to be having those conversations and talking to people. That's what we're all about.
Right.
So, okay, cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, just on days that I get overwhelmed, I find these Instagram thingies very helpful. They're content calendars. So you don't have to stress and think about it when you know your day is going to be hectic. If you got appointments coming up with the kids, or you're not going to have time, you can pre-think these things out, get an idea, formulate what you in your mind, just pick a picture and then go, And even if you've been in the business for like 30 or 60 days more, if you want to scroll back, copy paste something you used previously and then attach it to a new picture, that'll save you a lot of time and stress and worry.
Absolutely. Yes. I love that. Content calendars are lifesavers.
Mm-hmm.
And we even have some specific ones for life post.
Right.
Just to jog our mind and give us some new material. So cool. I love that. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Welcome.
Appreciate that. Okay, now we're gonna talk to Mama Bree. Where is she? She's still here, right? Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Uh-oh.
Bree, you've been doing the business for how long? I'm sorry, I have 6 months, 7 months, 8 months.
Well, it depends on if you're talking about when I enrolled or when I started working. Because I enrolled over a year ago, but I started working at the end of August.
Okay. And you have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, so I don't know what y'all are talking about by getting time without kids in the morning with them in school.
Please do share. What does your schedule look like, and how do you manage it so that you can work your business?
So I find block scheduling super, super, super helpful. And I have like this little block schedule. I used to manage my time by like hours or by like a running to-do list, and I was never really productive. Like I would be marking stuff off, but it was like I wasn't always getting everything done that needed to get done, or I would be spending too much time focused on those to-dos and not the kids or the family. And so honestly, like I am a night owl. Like I would prefer to stay up until like 3 or 4 in the morning doing things because it's quiet. But I find that the kids get up at like 7 or 8, and if I'm staying up that late, they are like, the rest of my day is a disaster, and I get nothing done. So slowly, after listening to like Rachel Hollis' podcast about how to become a morning person like 30 times, I started getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, which is crazy. And I have from 5 to 8 in the morning, because the kids usually wake up around 7:30 or 8. And since everybody's been home and we haven't been leaving the house, they've been sleeping in until about 8 and not getting up earlier. So from 5 to 8 in the morning is when I do like my Bible reading and personal study. I exercise like until I can break a little bit of a sweat. And whenever I do exercise in the morning, I have more energy and like am more motivated to do my tasks for work. And so then I start in on my daily tasks. I will do my stories, video myself making my video for the product and everything. I will be listening to something with self-development, like a podcast or an Audible, or I'll be watching a video on YouTube from like Jade or from one of our Facebook training groups. And I'll just do our typical daily task six list usually right then in that block of time, so that no matter what happens the rest of the day, I have I have that focused time that I know I can do something progressive for my business and for myself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So for me, I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself first thing in the morning, so that, I was doing it at night and I would be so tired. So I kind of switched things around. Instead of doing my like interacting and stuff in the morning, I use that time for my personal time, and then like for interacting on my stories or posts or whatever. And then I do the easy stuff like interacting at night when I'm in bed before I go, because it's kind of mindless to ask somebody or say, hey, that shirt's really cute, where'd you get it? Or that's so adorable. It doesn't take a lot of thought or a lot of brain power. And by that time during the day, I'm really tired. So my next block of time is dedicated to the kids, because typically they're up by 8 o'clock then. So I have checklists for both my kids for what we do. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous, but this is what we do. So I have checklists. So we do homeschooling preschool. So like this is Cedar's. Aspen's is identical, but it's pink. And I just have them in like a laminated sleeve that is like a dry erase board sleeve. Their chores in the morning are like make their bed, help me with the dishes. We read books. We do school, in this chunk of time between 8 and noon. School as in like books, not iPad school. We'll have iPad school down here. And then we want to make sure that they get outside and get some fresh air and exercise. They can have some like free play, and during their free play time, I might check in with some of my teammates and see how everything's going or answer a couple messages. And then sometime during the day, they're going to get iPad school time, which is like ABC Mouse. And that's when usually Cedar gets this like twice a day, because Aspen they'll get it once in the morning, and that's when I can like update my stories or start working on something else. And then we'll do art. They get chore sticks to help me with, and then they help me with dinner at the very end of the day. So that helps me with chores. It helps them teaching. It helps me have that one-on-one time with them where I'm not like on my phone all the time. And then it helps teach them to like, they've been loving it. Like they get so excited. I'm like, do you want to do your checklist? Yes. And they like grab the dry erase board marker. Cedar knows, like he goes straight to his bed to make his bed first thing and get dressed. And then we can like, they'll get options. We don't have to do it in this order, but I'll give them a couple options of what they want to do next. And it helps us keep on track as far as like family time. And then let's see. I also have one for myself. For cleaning.
Oh yeah.
Keep on track.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 days a week. But then so from noon to 2 is when like we do letter writing or our family, like I don't have my phone on from noon to 2. Like it's put away. So that's just focused on family time, or we'll do like letter writing or watching a theocratic video or something. And then from 3 to 4 is usually when Aspen goes down for a nap. So Cedar will get like a second round of iPad time, or he'll play with Ty or something since Ty is laid off and home now. And so so that's another power hour for me. I put in there from 3 to 4. And so Cedar can do iPad or free play or whatever he wants to do. And then I will check in with my team, update my stories, work on posts. And then I do, then from like 4 to 8 is more family time, making dinner, getting ready for bed, blah, blah, blah. And then from 8 to 9, I work. And then from 9 to 10, I turn my phone off, or I try to. Sometimes it's really hard. And I focus on winding down for the night so I can get to bed at a reasonable time so I can get up again and start the day all over again at 5 in the morning.
Ruth says hello.
Hi, baby girl.
One
What do
thing
you
I-
have?
A pin.
So that's what my schedule looks like now that we're home. Because before, my 4-year-old is on the autism spectrum as well, and he has autism, ADHD, and anxiety, and he has therapy like 5 days a week. So typically, before quarantine, we were gone from like 7:30 or 8 in the morning until about 2 in the afternoon, 4 days a week. So this is our new life schedule for a while.
No, and I think that's the thing right now. A lot of us are trying to just readjust to having all the kids home, or some of the kids home, or dad's home. That can change things as well.
Yes, that's hard because usually, like during the day, not on this schedule, but like usually when we get home and I'm doing these activities with the kids or whatever, I have like something playing on YouTube, like from Cheyenne Knox or from Jade or from Ashley Mayfield or something. I have something playing while I'm so I'm listening to it while I'm interacting with the kids. And then it keeps them from watching TV because they're not interested in that. They're busy playing or doing something else. But it keeps feeding my mind and keeping my mental state right, because it's hard. It's your mental. What is this quote, Jordan? I don't know. What is it? This job is 80% mentality or 90% mentality or something like that. I don't remember. But it's so true. If your mental state is in the toilet, everything is going down.
I appreciate about your schedule is that you have it in blocks, but a lot of it is multitasking. So if you're doing like from 5 to 8, if you're doing your slides, but also listening to a podcast or something else, you're really like making the best of our time. And that's one thing I always appreciate that Jordan says, work smarter, not harder.
Not harder.
So if there's a way that you can be doing 2 things at once, like including the kids into your momly duties and stuff, that's teaching them, and of course, spending time with them as well. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your schedule, Bree. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Did you want to share just a couple tips on PDTs, on how you're getting your PDTs?
Yeah. So when so I did a video like this in Goal Getters, called From PDT to Enrolling or something like that. So it goes into more detail. You guys can go check that out after if you want more information. But so when I'm focused on enrolling, it's super important to try to get 10 host to posts up every day, because you're reaching larger markets. And we want to try to, for me, I want to do that early in the month, because then I have the rest of the month to help them with their warm list and get volume. But right now it's kind of split because we have the 2 for $49 deal. So I'm conflicted. But So for PDTs, I try to get as many, at least 10 up every day when I'm trying to enroll. And then I keep it so simple. Do not overcomplicate it. Honestly, like I try not to answer questions unless it's like super, super pressing. I just, when they respond and say that they want to know more information or they're interested in the job opportunity, I have a simple like script that I will either voice message them or I will send them on text replacement. And it basically is like, well, it basically says, I'm so excited to tell you more. My name is Brianna. What I do is I share health and wellness products as an influencer, you know, blah, blah, blah. And is that something you would like to learn more about? I don't know. I'm not going to read it because but if they say yes, you know, I say that, I say something about we get paid commission, bonuses, stuff like that. To keep it really short and simple. And then when they say yes, I voice message and I say, great, I have a couple videos that I can send your way that explain more information and will answer a ton of your questions. So would that be okay if I send them to you? Yes. So I send them the videos. If they are a witness, I will send them 3. I will send them Tara's opportunity video, and I'll explain it, saying that a few things in the video have changed because she did make this video a couple years ago, but the majority of the information is still the same, just little tiny tweaks like what you get in your enrollment kit or small things like that have changed, but we can totally talk about that later. But the rest of the information is great. And then the second video I'm going to send you is an interview from 6 different sisters from across our team with various circumstances. And then I explain a little bit about what each of those circumstances are. And then I tell them the last video I'm going to send you is the owner of the company's daughter. She explains more about the products and about the company itself. Her name is Cami. And then I send them the videos. And if they aren't a witness, I just send them Tara's and Cami's. So keep it really simple. And then before I send them the video, I still voice message and I say, I know your time is very valuable. So if you don't have time to watch all of these videos, then please just make sure you at least watch Tara's, and hers will answer the majority of your questions. However, you know, like I like to watch these videos like when I'm folding laundry or doing other chores, because it's not necessarily something you need to sit down with and like with a pen and paper to take notes. A lot of your questions will be answered if you just are listening. And so, you know, that's one way to be able to watch all the videos and answer the majority of your questions. But at the after you've watched either all 3 or just Tara's, we can get together for a 3-way chat and answer any other questions that you might have, because our team does not just enroll people to enroll them. We want to make sure that you have all of your questions answered, that you're comfortable, and that it's a good fit for both of us. And that usually, when I say that, that usually kind of puts them at ease, and they're like, oh, okay, that's really nice, you know, because a lot of other teams just sign people up and they don't do anything, and we don't want people like that. Like, we want to know that it's that distributor or that potential is going to be a good fit on your team, and they are going to be working and they do want it. We don't want just somebody that's not going to do anything. And so that's just basically, and then I send them the videos, and if I don't hear back in a day or 2, I will voice message and say, hey, what did you think of the videos? Can we get together for a 3-way chat and get any questions you have answered? And sometimes they'll say, oh yeah, I forgot to watch them, or, you know, you just go from there, I guess.
Now.
What?
I said, okay, go watch them now.
I know, right? Go watch them now.
I love that. Okay, so you just have like an initial message, kind
Yep.
of giving a brief overview of what you do.
Yep.
And then if they have any questions, say, great, I have a couple videos that answer a lot of questions. Do you have time to watch those now?
Mm-hmm.
And then send those over. I love that, because then you're not taking the time to answer a bunch of questions that'll already be answered in those videos. It really lets the videos do the work for you.
And sometimes it can be confusing or a little bit daunting if you're new and you're trying to explain the business and answer all these questions, and then you get in over your head and you're like, wait, I don't even know the answer to that question. I'm still trying to work on this. And then you get nervous because you don't want to like keep going because you don't know how to answer that question. And then it's a whole thing. just keep it simple and let your upline do the heavy lifting. It's the best way. I can answer most questions, and I still let my uplines do the heavy lifting.
Setting up the three-way call as soon as
It's
possible
perfect,
is
yes.
just amazing. That's the best way to get it all sealed up. So awesome. Thank you so much, Brianna. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Does
welcome.
anybody have any questions for any three of our lovely interviewees tonight?
Not a question, but I did want to share one thing, because I know for productivity and for keeping everything on track, like Jade had that productive video that was really good, but you do have to pay for the app. And I've been using one called Habit that looks very similar to Jade's. Like, it works very similar, but it's free. There's an upgraded version that you can buy, but the only difference is you get access to more colors, to color code more options instead of just 3. All the features are the same in the free version. It's just being access to like 9 colors instead of 3 for what you're paying for, so it doesn't really matter. But
That's good to know. I know we had people asking about the productivity app, because she was highlighting that again in our kickoff Zoom.
yeah,
Really
What
using
was the
that.
name again?
the one I'm using or the one Jade uses?
The one you're using.
It's called Habit.
Habit. Okay.
Well, I don't know if you can see it. It's this one. It has an H with multicolors in the background. It's like a white H. But yeah, it's just called Habit. And it works really nice to do the whole thing that Jade recommended by saying like morning stories, like 2 motivational quotes, morning video making product, morning, like outlining all of those things.
That's nice. I like having a checklist like that as well. Well, I don't know if everybody saw, but we're really excited for April, and we did put together a month of guided Zooms, which are so helpful, even if you're just now getting started, or if you've been in the business for months now. I love guided Zooms. It really takes the pressure off. You can just set aside that hour. We'll set the timer, we'll play some music or a podcast or something, and we can just get our daily tasks in that hour. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that. Maybe set the timers in your phone if you need to throughout the month for times that work well for you.
And they're at the exact same time every day. So it's easy to develop the habit of, okay, I'm going to wake up Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern and hop on.
Yes. And Rochelle, that calendar is in the Boom Chat. But
we can find all the old pictures in Boom Chat too.
We can go ahead and resend it too, so it's fresh, and then you can save it to your photos. But thank you so much, everybody that was on, and all the tips that were shared.